Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ardan Imam Rashid, and today I'm gonna talk about debt management. Debt management is a solution to pay off debt with the help of a third party. Until now, there are many people who are entangled in debt and have difficulty paying it off. This is where debt management comes in as an alternative solution. It is undeniable that the imbalance between expense and income forces individuals to apply for debt. However, when the borrower begins to struggle to pay the installments, conflict is inevitable. Therefore, it is important to do effective debt planning. Debt management is a solution to help borrowers pay off their debts so that they do not accumulate further. So, to manage debt? Let's check out the article. What is debt management? Debt management is a debt repayment solution whose implementation is planned by a third party. Usually, the third party is a counseling agency that helps the first party borrower pay off their debt. In the implementation, the third party will organize a new payment schedule and provisions to pay off the debt according to the borrower's ability. The terms will be organized as optimally as possible so that both parties, the first party and the second party, do not experience difficulties or suffer a lot of loss. The payment terms are set to be more affordable so that the borrower can repay the debt on schedule or even faster. The assistance provided by third parties is usually in the form of KTA, unsecured loans, which are loans obtained without the need for collateral, KPR, home ownership loans, and credit cards. The most important thing is debt management must be followed by appropriate and effective strategies. The goal is to avoid the emergence of a digging hole cover hole strategy. The management objective. In simple terms, the purpose of debt management is a way of managing debt so that it goes according to plan. This means that both the borrower and the lender can achieve their respective goals. Debt management aims to help borrowers obtain funds or assets to repay their debts. The risk of default can be avoided. Good planning will provide comfort for both parties. Borrowers can pay off their debts according to their financial condition, and debt borrowers get their money back. In addition, good debt management also aims to minimize the deterioration of your financial condition. Monthly debt installments should not exceed 35% of total income. Next, debt management tips. The first, planning. Planning aims to determine the priority of debt that must be paid first. This is to determine the total debt and prepare the necessary funds. The first priority can be focused on the debt with the highest amount and interest rate. Many people experience a situation where the interest rate is higher than the principal debt. This will certainly make borrowers feel very burdened. Therefore, make sure to prioritize this debt first. The second priority is debts that use asset certificates as collateral. This usually happens when someone is late in paying their mortgage installment. The worst risk of defaulting on asset secure debt is the loss of ownership of the asset. OCBC and ISP friends can use this priority to overcome their problems. The second, don't apply the cover hole dig hole concept. Always avoid the decision to borrow new debt to pay other debts. This condition is usually known as digging a hole. Many choose this method as the quickest solution. In fact, this solution will not last long because the borrower will still be in debt and will accumulate more debt. The, the third, manage expense. The next part of debt management is to minimize your expense as much as possible. This part of the risk of taking on debt. Start prioritizing your basic needs and avoid unnecessary expense. OCBC and ISP both need to understand how to differentiate between needs and wants. By managing expense, debt payment can be made consistently and paid off soon. Fourth, utilizing asset. Owning certain assets can also be a solution to pay off debt, especially if the asset can be used to pay off debt. Assets can include land, deposit, gold, jewelry, or other assets with useful value. For some people, using assets to pay off debt may seem daunting. However, if the debt burden is not resolved, it will certainly cause many other problems. In addition, the existence of assets should also be an alternative solution for urgent needs. The five, find other sources of income. One of the best solutions for debt management is to get additional source of income. It is undeniable that debt arises because expenses are more than income. Therefore, to pay off existing debts and fulfill your needs, increasing your income is the most appropriate answer. OCBP and ISP bodies can offer service online or sell products on online marketplace. Try to use your potential as much as possible. The sixth, negotiate. The last step in debt management is negotiation. Tell the truth about your current situation to your debtors. But individuals and institutions, this attitude can be considered as a good intention that is a form of responsibility to pay off debt. Debt providers can also provide solutions, such as a reduction in interest and extension of tenure of the number of monthly installments. How to avoid debt? The first, make a budget. Creating a clear budget will help you manage your expense. It aims to ensure that all basic needs are met. The absence of a budget will potentially lead to debt if funds for basic needs are used for other things. Therefore, make sure to make a clear and detailed budget. OCBC and ISP bodies can start by making a daily budget. The second, set priority scale. In addition to budgeting, setting a priority scale is also one of the most effective ways to avoid debt. Prioritization is also important to separate needs from wants. This the expenditure method is also wiser. In conclusion, debt management is an integral part of a company's financial function and plays an important role in a financial decision making. With good debt management, companies can minimize financial risk, optimize capital structure, and support company growth and development. However, companies should also be careful not to be overly dependent on debt, as this can increase unwanted financial risk. Thank you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.